The recording process usually starts when the guys will get together and start throwing ideas at one another. The recording process has to start with the songwriting process.
The more ridiculous that idea is, then the better the song is going to become.
Sometimes a lot of these things start out as inside joke type stuff, stuff that happens on the road.
Somebody will have the idea and everybody's on board.
But how's the verse go again? For the sex, drugs, and masturbation.
You just can't be a regular thing. It has to be about something awesome and something cool, like about shooting your girlfriend into space, or about like absolute power and rocking.
What I'm looking at here is lyric sheets for Misillusion and Night Lies. I am a big deal baby and I make a lot of money. That's great. It's the first two things in the song. It's fantastic.
From there, we booked time. We went in with Ducky Carlisle up in Medford. We did 3 days of just basic tracks, which included, Pete. He did his bit, and then Dawes recorded bass. And then the three guitar players, I think we did the bulk of our rhythm guitars there.
This is my very first time recording with Bang Camaro. Honestly, I haven't played this kind of music since I was 19, so it took me a while to get my chops back up. And the whole thing's been really crazy, just basically jumped onto a fast-moving train.
There's no pressure. I'm never nervous about recording in any way. But I definitely do think about what I'm playing, why I'm putting it down.
What are you playing, Mike? You play like
the first. Actually, it's the second pre-chorus, which is the one that Pete plays through. It's the heavy one.
Changing a song through, like halfway through the recording process, can wield really interesting results. You should never disregard like an idea, even if it's late. Even if it's late in the process, it's like, that sounds awesome. You should do that.
Things are going relatively smoothly, but we've come across a common problem of ours, which is my drums going out of tune, which it happens all the time. The problem is I just hit too damn hard.
We listen back to what we've done, and if we decide to keep it, then we move on to the Moon Tower studio.
Mike, Alex, and I come in after that because personally I don't really feel guitar, even though guitar is very important in Bang Camaro. I don't think it's not the foundation that everything else is built on. That's the drums and the bass. We add coloring and we add texture.
Occasionally, Bryn and Alex will record that on their own because they can work at a solo for hours if they want to, and not spend the money and not use a lot of everybody else's time. And I think that's excellent too. In today's day and age, getting the band to record some of that stuff themselves can be beneficial to a project of this size.
The original writing and concept comes pretty easily for me. I normally have a pretty good idea within the first 10 minutes of picking up my guitar and coming up with some ideas, whether it's going to be worth it. The most difficult part for me is the point that I have to record my guitar parts and then we're waiting to do the vocals. And personally, I'm never sure if it is going to be a good song at that point. I have a pretty good idea what it's going to sound like in my head, but there's always a little question.
At the core of Bang Camaro is just a great rock combo. Drums, bass, 3 guitars, lead guitars, rhythm guitars. It's the backbone of rock and roll. The difference with Bang Camaro is clearly their vocals. That presents a challenge, and it's a new challenge every single time.
So once those guys finish up all those tracks in there, then we all get to storm the castle, and then all hell breaks loose, and now we've got a party.
All right, Richie, all right, Steve, let's get the grit. We got the dirty boys in town now.
There's this perception that we're all just kind of getting up there and shouting, and that's not entirely untrue, but you know, when it comes down to recording, it really is a precise science, and people are really like working hard.
It's really hard to get everyone to get that perfect take. So if I'm singing, if I get a take just right, you know, someone else may not get it that time, or the other way.
She's out of her mind.
Da, da, da.
Oh.
Someone
sliding out.
the upper mind is still, you got to do it again, you know, and same thing, it'll be a different guy the next time. So I think that was a lot of the challenge.
After you go through it a couple takes, people get a little bit more loose and things come out a little more naturally.
When it's all done, you go in and you listen to this stuff, and you can hear that, you know, those 16 takes of one line that we had to go through paid off because the part sounds awesome.
You know, it might take a lead singer of a band, you know, a half hour, 45 minutes to rip through one take of a song. It might take Bang Camaro twice, 3 times as long to do that, but the fact that they can do that is, you know, I think remarkable.
You know, there's definitely times where we're listening back to what we're doing and we're changing things as we go. It's not just me. I mean, there's a few of us that, I mean, really like to take those pieces apart and, I mean, even reinventing them on the spot, you know?
We stand as gods alive. You tasted one last time. She's taking over, kills you to know her. She is your sober night.
Yeah, I think we can get away with that.
Now we're in the mixing process. We're under a pretty tight deadline, but I think it's coming out pretty good.
And that might change the dynamic of all of this and make it more like that. I don't know, you know? Yeah, give it a shot, definitely.
I think it sounds a lot more like we sound live now because we came in and we just did it. I'm really proud of that.
The way that Bang Camaro has changed its songwriting process, at least over the course of the last like couple months, so we've really stripped away and simplified.
It still captures the vibe of like, yeah, we're out to party and let's get into some trouble, but we've definitely rubbed some dirt on it this time around.
This one's a little bit more polished, but it's still edgy, so it's got a better feel to it.
I think it's a little bit more complicated, just in terms of just the songwriting, and I think the influences that we're drawing from are a little bit more diverse this time around.
Yeah, we might actually add a sticker to the new record saying, now with lyrics.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, we strictly eat Honest Taqueria, located in Sunny Porter Square. Quinn always gets the quesadilla, Bryn eats the vegetable, I go with the chicken burrito, and Dawes drinks beer. It's the only way to make hit records.
Alright, so everything's been laid down on the tracks. We finished recording the whole album. And now we're at TT's doing the final step of the process. We're shooting a video for Night Lives, which is going to be featured in Rock Band 2. And this is like sort of like the end-all be-all.
Okay, everybody first position. Roll audio.
We're finally getting into the habit of knowing how to do these things. You know, getting a crew together that really works well.
Yeah, I think we're really happy with the concepts that we're dealing with, and I think that this is probably the best crew that we could have asked for the time being. So that's great. And so I think everyone's kind of excited about it.
I'm hoping for something different from our last 2 videos, which were largely performance-based, and this is more story and narrative-driven. And I'm hoping it's going to be great.
Check it out. I've got marks. Totally pro. This is where I stand. This is where I rock.